With the permission of Hashem, we start the story of Avraham Avinu. Every year is the same story. The Parsha of the week, the weekly Parsha. And last week, the Parsha of 2 weeks ago, it was Noah, the story of Noah, when Hashem destroyed the world, and then Hashem rebuilt the world with Noah. And then we start now to talk about Avraham Avinu, the patriarch Avraham Avinu. And we know that the story of Noah ended that again, all the people after the deluge, they become very bad, idolatry. And Avraham Avinu, his father was Terah. And Terah was a very close friend to Nimrod. Nimrod, he was the king. He didn't believe in God. He believed of the nature, like the sun. What you see, he believe what he see. He see the sun, so the sun is God. He see the stars, so the stars are very far, are God. They give you light. He see the fire. Fire, you can burn the whole city with the fire. So for him, the fire is God. You see the water. The water you can switch off. You can do without water you cannot live. So he believe on water. Trees. Avraham Avinu alav shalom. He was born to a family that he didn't believe on God. That God that he created the world. He didn't believe. He only believed, his father believed of what he see. God he don't see, he don't believe, like Nimrod. But what it's incredible is that Avraham Avinu, he discovered Hashem. How old was he? He was 3 years old. So the Gemara, the Talmud said, how Avraham Avinu discovered Hashem. And the Talmud said, Avraham Avinu, he discovered Hashem by his own. How? Sometimes people didn't want to think too much. They have time to think about business. They have time to think about anything, but who is Hashem? Who is the Creator? That they don't have time for that. So they don't believe. Avraham Avinu alav shalom, when he started to understand, he saw the sun. So he said, the sun, he heard his father talking about the sun. So for him, the sun is God. And in the night, he saw the moon. I heard my father was talking about the moon. Okay, maybe the moon fight the sun and beats. Now he is God. The next day, he see again the rain. He see the sun, the cloud. What's going on? There is a fight between gods. Everyone wants to be the leader. It's impossible to have a lot of gods. There can be only one. So something funny is going on here. At the end, he said, no. It cannot be a lot of gods. Now, like in a city, in a country, you cannot have 2 kings. You can have only one. If there is 2, they will fight. So now it's impossible. So he realized there is only one, God, Hashem. And this one, he is the one that he created the whole world. This is more or less what our rabbis tell us about Avraham Avinu. Abraham Abinu, he discovered Hashem on his own. And then there is the Rambam. The Rambam said that Abraham Abinu discovered Hashem when he was 40. So the Lubavitch Rebbe asked a question, how it's possible? We have a Midrash who said that Abraham Abinu discovered Hashem when he was 3 years old. And here you have the Gemara who said that Abraham Abinu, the Rambam said Abraham Abinu was 40. How you explain this? It's a contradiction. 3-year-old, 40-year-old, no. And according to a lot of rabbis, Abraham Abinu discovered Hashem when he was young. So how you explain this? And the Lubavitch Rebbe came up with a beautiful idea. He said, yes, sometimes you can have the knowledge to understand. Like I remember when I was a baby, when I was 3-year-old, I know what it is money. I know what it is fire. I know what it. But to get to know what it is money, it's only when I got old. I mean, it's like chocolate. Chocolate, you don't like it. When you're a baby, you like it. But you get old, you don't like it. Because you know that too much chocolate, it can be dangerous for you, especially if you are diabetic. So the Lubavitch Rebbe said, yes, Abraham Abinu, he discovered Hashem when he was a baby. But it took him till the age of 40 to realize the greatness of Hashem. It is a difference because the age of 40 is the age that you can understand. That everything it's the age of 40, it's clarity. So that means for Abraham Abinu, he got the clarity about Hashem when he was 40-year-old. Now I would like to tell you something. How Abraham Abinu, this is my question, how Abraham Abinu, he discovered Hashem. I mean, Baruch Hashem, my father was Jew. My mother, she was Jewish. So for me, it was easy to be Jew. Easy. Since I was a baby, my mother talked about God. My father always in his mouth, Be'ezat Hashem, please Hashem, always. So I was born, this is kasher, this is not kasher. I was born like that. But Abraham Abinu, from where he got the idea to believe, what was the beginning? You know, everything has a beginning. But to believe in Hashem, it's like, excuse me to tell you this, it's like you take a monkey, you talk to him, you believe in God. He will not answer you. He's a monkey. I mean, imagine somebody who was born in the jungle, a man who was born in the jungle, and he's you come and ask him, what's your name? You ask him, what are you? You don't, of course you will not ask him who's God, but even to talk to him, he will not answer you. So how the idea of Abraham that he started to believe in Hashem at the age of 3-year-old. I mean, his father and his mother, his grandfather, all his family, they were idolatres. They were all, they believe in Hashem. They only believe in something that you see. So I don't understand. I promise you, it took me time to realize, to understand how I was, I will never forget. There is a woman. She came to see me on Thursday, Netanya, and that woman, she was shocked. Why she was shocked? Because something happened to her. What happened? She wanted to go to Kever, the grave of Rachel Imenu in Yerushalayim, and then she took a taxi, and she told the taxi, please, if you can stop. And in a bank, I have to take money with the card. So he took her to the bank. She went to the bank, and she put the card, and she put the number, her code number, and the card didn't come back. It's like it was the card was swollen from the machine. So she was shocked. She did not know what to do. It was 6 o'clock. The bank is closed, and the taxi man told her, madam, I'll take you to Kever Rachel, because anyway, I want you to go as well, because it's the Hilula of Rachel Imenu. So I take you, and then you pay me. I give you my address. You send me here's my account number. I trust you. And she went to Kever Rachel with the driver, and then he took her back home, and the story finished. Now, when she arrived home, she found the cart in her house. So she came to see me, Rabbi David, I'm not crazy. The driver of the taxi, here's his cart. He saw when I put the cart, and the cart didn't come back. The machine didn't give me back the cart. And I come home, I find, please, Rabbi David, I told her, Madam, I believe you, but somebody else will not believe you. I mean, you put the cart, you find it in your house. I don't know how to explain to you. So she told me, I went to the bank this morning to ask them, because I did the code, I did the number. I wanted to know if they received my number. If they received, it's a computer. I mean, you put the card, you put your code, and then they told me there is no card. I understand them because I found it in my house. But Rabbi David, now the most important is that lady, she's wealthy. Her father is a wealthy man. He called the bank. He wanted to know, because they have film. There is everything today. There is today video, film. He wanted to know if his daughter, she was there, if she put the card, and it was. How do you explain this? How do you explain? Well, the bank, they saw only the picture, but no numbers, nothing came. So there is no evidence. She was there, you see that she was there, but I don't know what happened. Something. Of course, to who you want to tell that story? Anyone that you will tell the story, we think you're wrong, you're crazy. So now, what about Avraham Abinu? When Nimrod told him, I heard that you believe in God, that the one who created the world. Tell me, is it right or not? So he said, yes, I fight. I fight people like you. There is only one. There is only Hashem who created the world. I don't believe on the rest. There is only one Hashem. He said, well, so you don't believe that the fire is God? No, the fire is not God. The water? No, the water is not God. Okay, so I'm going to make a big fire. I'm going to throw you there. And if you, God, exist, so let him protect you from the fire. Avraham Abinu, he said to Nimrod, you can't do it. And that's what Nimrod did. And there was a miracle. You know the story. Yes, yeah. And Or Kasdim. And a big miracle happened that the fire didn't catch Avraham Abinu. This is our belief. So we believe that Hashem will give the Torah to the Jews. We believe that the Jewish people, they cross the sea. We believe that the food that the Jews eat during 40 years in the desert came from the Shamayim. We believe there was water. I mean, this is our emunah. Or the Jewish people, our emunah is based on stories. On stories. Our emunah based on stories. The Bible. We believe there is death, there is life after death. We believe there is Hashem. The proof that Hashem exists, our existence. That's why I still here. The Jewish people are still here, and we believe in Hashem. So what I told that lady, madam, in my life I saw a lot of miracles. You know what happened to Jerodin? One of the big miracles of all time happened. About a few weeks ago, his daughter had a baby. And for the doctors, there is no way that this baby will live. And the doctor said, you have to take it out. There is no. And all the time, we talk to me, we give brachot. At the end, the doctor said, look, he said to the family, it's better that to do something now, after it's a bit too late. No, we will not accept that you do something bad to the baby. We believe in God. He said, anyway, when your daughter will have the baby, he will pass away, he will not breathe. He will pass away right away after his birth. He called me. I told him, Jay, you don't touch the baby. And if really they force you to touch the baby, so you have to call up Kalaski to find you a big posek, a dayan, a judge, halachic judge, if we can do something, because we're not allowed to do abortion, we're not allowed to touch the baby. That was last Thursday, 2 weeks ago. I was going to do a shiur. I told him, Jay, please do me a favor. Call me in 1 hour, 2 hours. He said, Rabbi David, I am in Mansi. I want to go to the cemetery to pray on the Kivrit Tzadikim there. I said, go. We are now all what we have left, it's the Tzadikim. Go. And then after the shiur, I called him. He told me, Rabbi David, the doctors cannot believe. The doctor, he said, this is the first, one of the biggest doctors in Manhattan. He said, I know my job, in my life I never saw this. He couldn't understand how the baby lived. For him, in a minute. So they said, well, now that he's alive, so we will do everything to help him to live. But now we cannot do nothing. We have to wait till Monday. Can you imagine? We have to wait till Monday. And he lived till Monday. And then, Baruch Hashem, they did some surgery. Today, thanks God, he's not 100% out of danger. But now we can say it's out of danger. Now, one of the biggest doctors of the staff, they said, this is something that we will write in the hospital that we never saw something like. So they told him, sir, carry on praying to the one that you pray, to the one that you believe. Carry on praying. But we never saw this. And this morning, Jay was here with his family. And if you hear, you listen, the way he talk, the way he said, Rabbi David, the doctors, they can't believe. Now the doctors, they were for get rid of him. Now they are for to bring him at 100% at life. They don't understand. There is the same problem with one of the biggest rabbis, Rabbi Yashiv, when he was 95 years old. He had a big operation. After the operation, they told him, he told the doctor, thank you. He told him, the doctor told the rabbi, don't tell me thank you. I didn't do the operation. I don't know. I don't know who did the operation. It's not me. I know what I'm doing. It's not me. My hand, they went. I prepared the operation, but I didn't do nothing from what I prepared. My hand, they went on their own. Rabbi, thanks Hashem. You're God. So you see miracles. Sometimes you see the hand of Hashem. So now our question is, Abraham Avinu, he was 3 years old. What was the push? What was how it started? Okay, I believe in Hashem because I have my father and mother. But Abraham, his father and mother, especially his father, he was idolatry man. And all the city, everybody. So how? Sarah, she learned later from Abraham. Rivka, her uncle was Abraham. So everyone, Rachel, Leah, they were related to Abraham Avinu. Beseder, it's the same family. But Abraham, what was the light who pushed him to believe in Hashem? There is only one answer. You search, you find. If you tell me, I searched, I didn't find, you're a liar. If you want, you can. You cannot tell me, I can't, because you don't want. Because it's impossible that you can't. Maybe you don't want. A lot of people say, I can't do this, I can't. No, it's not true. It's not because they don't want. That's it. And if you don't want, you don't want. That's it. But don't tell me you can't. You look, you find. I would like to tell you something. Last night, I was in the plane for 12 hours, coming from Israel to America. And I said to myself, I'm going to sleep at least 8 hours. I took a pill. I said, I want to sleep 8 hours. And then I said, David, you are very late. There is a lot of things that you have to write. Because I did some lectures, but I didn't write them. I said, David, now the problem was I took the pill. I took the pill. So I said, well, Hashem, you're the boss. You know how to stop that pill. So I will not sleep. I don't want to sleep. I have to. And I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. I didn't sleep. And then when I finished, I wrote maybe 20 pages. I slept 2 hours. Baruch Hashem, here I am. Feeling good. And Baruch Hashem. Abraham Avinu alav shalom, he gave a push to himself. Because you have to be clever, you have to understand. There is somebody who created. I mean, these glasses that I have in my hand, somebody did it. It is a fabric. I mean, it didn't come on his own. There is somebody. And Abraham Avinu alav shalom, he started to think. Everyone should find a time to think. Unfortunately, people that or they don't have time, or they don't want to think. Look, there is a big philosopher, a big people who had Oscars, for inventions that they did. They're so clever, and they're not clever enough to find out there is God. They are on the internet. There was like Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein is a genius man. Genius man. One day they asked him, when he was old, they told him, Mr. Einstein, do you believe in God? Do you believe in the Bible? You are Jewish. He told them, well, one day I was in a library and I saw there a lot of books, Jewish books. Through the Jewish books, if so many books were written about God, that means that there is something. Albert Einstein, he was at that time old. That means still doubting, only through books. Because there is books. Those books, somebody wrote them. But he's not sure. David HaMelech, alav shalom, when they asked him, David, who created the world? He said, I don't need to know who created the world. Only by looking at the sky and I see the sea and I see the moon, I see the sun. All of them, they work beautifully. There is somebody, there is Hashem who rules all this. It's not a robot. It's not a machine. It's not the timing that you do for Shabbos timing, that your light will be off, Shabbat, you put their timing, you put hours. This is what it's not a timing clock. It's somebody. It's Hashem. You look, you find. This is the Pastor Matzatata. I mean, you look, you find. There was a woman, she lost her ring. She told me, Rabbi David, it's impossible. My ring, it's in the house. I don't find the ring. After 10 years, she came, Rabbi David, I found the ring. Where was the ring? You will not believe. It was behind, the where the lavabo. How do you call it?
Sink.
The sink, yes.
Toilet.
Yes, no, not toilet. The sink, the kitchen, where they wash their hand. There is a small hole there, and it failed. And 10 years after, so they looked everywhere, but not there. And 10 years after, they had some leak of water. So they had to, her husband, he's a plumber. So he started to break, to repair it, and he found the ring. Because she said, Rabbi David, it's impossible. I saw her. So I told Madame, if you saw her, that means she's in the house. So every year, did you find the ring? No. And now she find the ring. I mean, you look, you find. If you don't look, so you don't look. So you will never find, but it's still there. Avraham Abinu alav shalom, it took him 40 years to see clearly who is Hashem. But At the age of 3 years, he knew there is Hashem. My friend, I want to tell you something. If you know there is Hashem, you can only know Hashem more and more. And for this, I want to tell you a beautiful story. There was a rabbi, Rab Saadia Gaon, alav shalom. Rab Saadia Gaon, one day, he wanted to visit the Jewish communities, in Iraq. And he didn't tell people who he was. One day he was by a family, he was there, they gave him a room. In the middle of the night, the owner of the house, he hear some voices, some noises in the backyard, outside the house. He went downstairs and he see Rab Saadia Gaon sitting on the floor, crying. He was praying. He told him, Rebbe, who are you? I'm sorry, maybe I made some noises. No, it's okay. I see that you pray. You cry. Why you cry? Well, I cry for a reason. Who are you? I am Saadia Gaon. Saadia Gaon? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't give you enough honor. If I knew that you are Saadia Gaon, I would give you my room. I'm sorry. No, it's okay. It's okay, Baruch Hashem. I am okay with what you did for me. Don't be sad. So, okay. Rabbi, I want to ask you one question. But you know who you are? You are Rab Saadia Gaon. You are very well known all over the Jewish world. Why you cry? Why you sit on the floor? Why you do all this? He said, well, my friend, remember few minutes ago what you told me, that you were sad because you didn't give me your room. Because you didn't know who I was. And if you knew who I was, you will give me your room. Yes or not? He said, yes. He said, this is the reason why I cry every night. Because every day I discover Hashem more than yesterday. And because I discover every day Hashem more than I know him about yesterday, so I say, Hashem, sorry, I didn't know you yesterday like I know you today. So that means, and the emunah and faith, always there is an improvement. Improvement in emunah. I live. And that was Avraham Abinu. Avraham Abinu, alav shalom, everything started when he was 3 years old. He was looking for the truth. At least he gave to himself. Somebody wants to get married. He look for the best. Yes or no? He look. On business, we look. Everything we look. What about Hashem? What about Hashem? And this is the Parsha of Avraham Abinu. Now you understand. That's why the Parsha of last week is named Lech, Lecha. What does that mean, Lech, Lecha? Lech, Lecha. That means go. Go. Go for yourself. Go for you. People think that Hashem needs us. Hashem don't need us. We need Him. Whatever we do it for ourselves. Whatever we do, it's for ourselves. Hashem don't need us. Hashem give us mitzvot to enjoy. He give us mitzvot to give us Shabbat, holidays, to enjoy. To have pleasure, to know Hashem more, to talk about the goodness of Hashem, to discover Hashem. Baruch Hashem, today we have our emunah, our faith in a plateau. Through our parents, Baruch Hashem. I'm proud that I got so much from my parents. I didn't have a parent to give me this faith on Hashem, I will be lost. I will never know who is Hashem. But it's wrong. Because I think about everything, and I don't think about myself in this world. What's this world? I think about my house, how to decorate my house, what car I buy, Mercedes, Porsche, Renault, Jaguar. I know the beauty of everything, but I don't think about the space, about what was before. We don't care. Why you don't care? You don't think about your end, what's going to happen to you after? You know, there was somebody who came to ask me, Rabbi, yesterday after the show, Netanya, he told me, Rabbi, can you give me a proof there is God? Okay, Rabbi David, I like your shiur, your lecture, I like it, but can you prove me there is God? I told you there is only one way that I can prove you. But I don't think that you will accept it. He said, well, I told him, to prove you, it's only one way. There is no return. What do you mean? I mean, if you die, you will see God. No, I don't want to die. So I told him, how you want me to prove you there is God? The only way to prove you there is God, it's, God, you cannot see him. If you see him, you die. You can see everybody, but not God. God, it's fire. If you have a soul, you have a neshama. Your neshama, it was taken from God. God gives you a part of himself on you. And when you want to take it, you can see him. But, so you want to see him? No, he said no. So I said, he started to look at me. Rabbi, you're clever. You know that I will not accept. I told him, look, you believe in God. You know why? Because if you don't believe, you will tell me, I want to see him. But you believe. The way that you said, no, I don't want to see him, I don't want to die, that means you're afraid to see him. So inside you, there is something. And the Baal Shem Tov said that. The Baal Shem Tov said there is no Jew that don't have a connection with Hashem. Even if he eats taref, even if he smokes on Shabbat, even that he does all the averot of the world, still there is a connection. One day he can do teshuvah. One day he can do teshuvah. And that's it. We never saw somebody who did a sin and he is happy after. And we never saw somebody who did a mitzvah and who regret why he did the mitzvah. So that means this is the truth. There was a man that he was looking to a woman, a married woman. Every time I told him, look, don't go. That woman, she worked by him. And every time he comes to me, Abide, I don't know what to do. I love that woman, but she's married. I told him, but you as well, you are married, so why pay her, give her good money, and it's not her fault. She needs a parnasa. And he said, but he told me, maybe I will regret if I fired her from working with me. Maybe I will regret. I told him, we never regret when we do a mitzvah. And Baruch Hashem, he told her to go. He paid her well. And then every time when I see him, Rabbi David, thank you that you avoid me from doing the Avera. Now we understand Avraham Avinu. If Abraham Avinu, without knowing there is Hashem, he discovered Hashem, so we can do more than Abraham, because we have the base. Baruch Hashem, we're Jewish. We're the descendants of Abraham. We have something. Abraham, he was the first one that Hashem asked him, take your son and sacrifice him. Is the Parsha of this week. Hashem, he wanted only to test him. Only to test him. And Abraham Avinu, he showed Hashem how much he loved him. Look, that Abraham arrived and achieved this kind of level to stand this kind of test, that he had so much emunah on HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because Abraham Avinu alav Shalom, he had no teacher to teach him who was Hashem. He discovered Hashem by teaching himself to himself. Einstein, he was very clever. He was a philosopher. He was a savant, a big scientific man. It was everything. But he didn't use his brain for Hashem. He didn't use. Maybe he knew, but maybe he didn't want to develop. Maybe he didn't want. It's not that he was but you know, his big friend was the Chazon Ish, one of the biggest rabbis of all time. His name was the Chazon Ish, and he was the friend of Albert Einstein. And when Albert Einstein he was invited in Israel, and they proposed him to be the president of Israel, he said no. He said, I prefer to remain American. I don't want to be the president of Eretz Israel. I didn't want. But he met his old friend, the Chazon Ish, and both of them, when they meet, and of course, what was the conversation? You remember in school? Yeah, talking about school. So Albert Einstein, he told him, well, I am very well known with the atom, with my ideas about the science, and you, the Chasson Ish, where I heard about you, that you are a rabbi of laws. Two different ways. Two big brains, brain, chokmah, wisdom, clarity. One for the atom, how to destroy the world. One for the laws, how to create a Jew. How to maintain to be Jew through the halacha. And I would like to finish with a beautiful story that I saw yesterday. It's Rabbeinu Bachya, alav shalom. He's a big rabbi. And this rabbi, he was always close to the king. And one day the king asked him, how a Jew can know that he's Jewish? Through his parents. What about if his parents, they will not teach him who he is? Would he know that he's Jewish? If the Jewish people have a racine till Abraham Avinu, so that means if he doesn't know that he's Jewish, something he can't discover himself one day that he's Jewish? Would you recognize him if he's Jewish? Rabbeinu Bachya, alav shalom, he told him, a Jew always has a connection with God. So the king told him, okay, We will not talk about it. The king, he gave an order to kidnap a baby boy, a Jewish baby boy, and to kidnap a baby boy that is not Jewish. And both of them, the king adopted them somewhere. Both of them, Lech, they grow like twins. Like twins. 12, 15 years later, they grow. Nice boys, very well educated. And the king, he invited all his friends. And he invited Rabbeinu Bachya, who was an old man. He told him, Mr. Bachya, you remember a few years ago about the conversation that we have together? He said, yes. You see those two boys? One of them is Jewish. Can you tell me who? Rabbi Bachya said, Majesty, you asked me something very difficult. Yes, but you told me that every Jew has a connection with God. So can you tell me, you are Jewish, you are a rabbi, do you see this connection? How can you know who's the Jew? Rabbi Bachya said, bring me a grape of raisin. Raisin, a grape. And some raisin. A grape and 10, 20 raisin. Not in a grape. 2 plateaux. So the king, what do you mean? What do you want to do? Do what I tell you. So he bring him one grape of raisin and a raisin. Yeah? Rabbi Bachya take the 2 plates. He went to one of them. He asked the first one, take one. One he took from the plate of the raisin. And then he went to the other one. The other one he took from the grape. And Rabbi Bachya told the king, this is a Jew. How do you know this is a Jew? Because he took from the grape. He said, because the Jewish people, they are one. They came from one. And this man, he took from a group of raisins. And the Jewish people are a group, like the raisins. So now you understand, Avraham Abinu Alav Shalom, when you look for the reality, you find it. A Jew always wants to be connected to something. Oh wait, look, last week, I was in Israel in the election. Bemet, I'm telling you, there was a man that is not religious at all. I don't want to tell you from what group he is. The day of the election, he did something very, very bad. With the tefillin, that shocked all the Israelis. It shocked the Israelis, what he did. I mean, okay, you don't believe in God, don't believe. But you heard people that they believe in the tefillin. There is millions of people who put tefillin every day. I mean, why he did that? Unfortunately, the story ended when I was going home. There was a man, not religious. I know him very well. Always he smokes Shabbat. He has a dog. And he told me, Rabbi, how are you? Did you vote? I said, yes. So he told me, of course, you vote for the religious party. I told him, look, maybe you voted for somebody else. It's normal. You understand me. What do you want to vote for your party? Everyone. He said, I voted for your party. You? I told him, you voted for, what party? Yes, it's a religious. You, but you're a good neighbor, I know you. He said, I couldn't stand what that man did this morning with the tefillin. What he did made me change my mind. I told him, did you wear tefillin in your life? He said, never. But today I wear them. Today I went to all the albums of my father that I didn't see for 50 years. And I saw that one day my father had a tefillin. I saw my grandfather has a beard. I didn't see those pictures. What revived me to see those albums and to vote for the religious party, what I saw this morning. So I told him, so what next? He said, well, next, I don't know. I have to convince my wife. But my wife, she didn't vote like me. She voted for her party. But she's not happy what we saw this morning on the television. About that guy, what he did in the tefillin in front of people. So you see, my friend, everything has a beginning. When Hashem created the world, Bereshit, at the beginning, there is always a beginning. But I have to tell you something. What happened before the beginning, you think? When Hashem, He created the world, it was Bereshit, in the beginning, Hashem created the world. But before He created the world, what happened? Well, Hashem was thinking how to create the world. He was thinking from what I will start. And before Hashem created the world, He created three things. Without this, He will not create the world. The first one is Hashem, He created the Torah. What's the purpose of the world if there is no Torah? If there is no law? Hashem, He created the souls of the Jews so they can study Torah. Otherwise, what's the purpose of the souls of the Jews if there is no Torah? And after, Hashem created the Teshuvah. Why the Teshuvah? That means if somebody do a sin, he can say to Hashem, sorry what I did. The Teshuvah. Otherwise, what's the purpose? That for Hashem to create the Torah, if the people will not respect it, He will kill them. No. They can do Teshuvah. That's like we do every year. Kippur. We ask Hashem forgiveness. Teshuvah. You understand? So at least, even Hashem, before He created the world, He think. So always there is the beginning, but there is something before the beginning. You want to open a business. Before you do the business, you think what kind of business you want to do. Otherwise, maybe it's not a good business. Who knows? You want to travel. You have to know where you want to travel. You want to go to Australia. There is a way how to get there. Before you talk about Australia, think how to get there. This is everything, and on everything there is a beginning. Well, Abraham Abinu alav Hashem is the same. At the beginning, he see. He see things. He see the sea, the moon, the stars, the sun, the sand. He see everything. You look. Then, who did that? What's this? And from that, he started to discover. Till one day Hashem told him, Abraham, here I am. You've been looking for me? Shkoyach, Abraham. You won. You have no teacher? You teach to yourself who I am. So here I am. Now Lech Lecha. Move on. Carry on. Get more closer and closer. And how Abraham reached the high levels? Only through all the tests that Hashem tested him. And he stands still. All the tested. And he showed. Then at the end, Hashem told him, well, Abraham, you know, and I finished, all the tests that Abraham was tested, and Baruch Hashem, we stand them well. If he did it, if he stand them, we can stand them. Look in the Shoah, millions of Jews, they've been killed, they've been sacrificed. The Rav Shach alav Shalom, there is a, no, not Rav Shach, I already said the Rebbe of Pressburg, he was in the Shoah, and before they sent him to, before they killed him, he started to do, he told people, hey, let's start Ma'ariv. Anyway, they're going to kill us, Ma'ariv. They started to pray Ma'ariv. They were shocked, the Nazi. There is a lot of stories like that. They were shocked. And the head of the SS, he was just looking after Ma'ariv. When they started to, they were walking, they were doing Ma'ariv, Ma'ariv. The Nazi, he told him, I don't kill you. You know that where you're going to go. And you pray Ma'ariv, you pray to God. That means you're convinced, you believe in God. That means for you, God is more than being killed. I don't want to kill you. And he remained alive. And he built an empire in Ashdod. The Chassidut of Pressburg. I know them. Yeah. There's a lot of stories. This is our heritage from Abraham, Yitzhak, Yaakov. Well, Be'ezat Hashem. Now, I finished my shiur. Or what we understand from this shiur, if Abraham discovered Hashem on his own, Baruch Hashem, we don't need, because we already have. So it's easy for us to be a good Jew. It's easy. There was a lady in Miami from Cuba. She told me, she's a Goya. She's not Jewish. And one day she came to see me last year in Cuba. And she told me, no, excuse me, no, it's another story. And she told me that she discovered Hashem like Avraham Avinu. She said, I am from Cuba. And I did not have any Jewish education, nothing. Her name was Maria Teresa. Her name is Maria Teresa. And she had no, because she was communist, and her father, her mother, she was Jewish. She had the identity, and her father was not Jewish, but she's Jewish, but she was a communist, and like all the Jews that they were assimilated. That's it. She came to Miami, and it was Hanukkah. And she saw Chabad doing, the big menorah, in the middle of the city. There were people there. She saw. She started to ask. So they told her about the miracle of Hanukkah. Well, she went home and she couldn't sleep. She went and Googled Hanukkah. What is the story of Hanukkah? But all night she was reading about Hanukkah. She opened her purse, because where she was, somebody gave her some candles, a box of candles. So she said, God, my mother, she's Jewish, so I am Jewish. So it's going to be the first time in my life I'm going to light the candles of Hanukkah. But God, do me a favor. If really you exist, and I'm not lighting this for fun. I want to light them from the bottom of my heart. I don't want to do it because, you know, Hashem, I was communist. I was in Cuba. I know nothing about Jews. But I know I'm Jewish. Now, I discovered you tonight. She was talking to me, and she was talking to me like I'm talking to you. She was looking at, at the sky. So I told her, yes, madam, so what happened? I asked from God, if he exists, I want somebody to come to invite me to the shul. I know it's the last day of Hanukkah. I want somebody to invite me. I told her, how can he invite you? I know. But I asked God. I light the 8 candles. And I went to bed. And the next day, by 4, 5 o'clock, there was somebody who was knocking. He knocked at the house. She opened. It was a rabbi. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I'm supposed to go to Cohen family. I think it's the 3rd floor. No, I have to go to 4th floor. No, please. Why you want the Cohen family? No, because we have tonight a party, Hanukkah party. And if you want to come, you can, if you want. Are you Jewish? Yes, I am Jewish. From Cuba. So you can come. Here's the address. Maybe you come with Madame Cohen, family Cohen. I'm going to go up now to invite them. How do you understand this story? She told me the story. And now, Baruch Hashem, she did a big teshuvah. But I will never forget. She told me, I discovered God like Abraham, our father, discovered God. So if she did, we can. We don't need to discover God because we live with Him. We know Him. It's not somebody from the street that he doesn't know God. We are a grape of raisins. Hibur, we're connected. We're connected. It's a grape of raisins. We're connected. So anyone that is connected, even that he doesn't know that he's Jewish, he's Jewish. One day we discover it. Like today, how many Jewish people today? They come from Portugal, from Cuba. They have some customs that they light candles on Shabbat, and they discover that they're Jewish. A lot. That's what's going to happen before Mashiach comes. So, Be'ez Hashem, I pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu to give you bracha ve'atzlacha and briut and this Dvar Torah on the memory of your sister, Zichronah Livracha, and God bless you.